Hello. Welcome back to another tech video. In this video, we are back on our PCs and ready to start our publisher series. Now, if you're new here and haven't followed this Facebook page or subscribed to our YouTube channel, don't forget to tap the follow button on Facebook and or the subscribe button on our YouTube channel to see more MCPL content. We bring you interesting tech videos every Wednesday and Friday at 1. If you couldn't join us for the first 4 videos in the series, please check out our Microsoft products playlist on our MCPL Mo YouTube channel. Events 5 through 8 will be a continuation of the skills, and we started in videos 1 through 4. So let's pick up where we last left off. In part 5, we started our newsletter template. Using different page parts, we were able to piece together a pretty decent layout on page 1. In page 6, we set the layout for page 2, adding page parts for our reminders and a calendar for important dates. Today, we're going to edit the text and insert some images. Now, when you're working with text, sometimes being efficient is the way to go. So today we're going to practice some of the formatting skills we learned in Publisher Parts 1 and 2. So let's go ahead and open up a new document using the template that we created. How exciting. So we're going to open Publisher. And anytime you create your own template, it will be added into the section of the template chooser under Personal. So we're going to go to New. And you'll probably see it there in the new section as well, depending on if you've used it recently. But if you scroll down a little bit and click Personal, you'll see your template right there waiting for you. So we're going to click to open that one. And we're going to get started. So since we're working with some text, we're probably going to have to zoom in and out a couple times. So be ready for that. Now, we have a few areas that need some work done by incorporating the notes and the comments that we've been gathering from family members. Now, this first note, comes from our cousins Jason and Janet. They want to introduce a new member named Antoinette, CDR, of their family, and they sent us an email with some few pictures in it. And so I saved those pictures into a folder to keep everything organized. So in this sidebar, we're going to add the details and images. We're going to let it take up the bigger section just because, hey, that's exciting news. Yay! In a page part, to change the placeholders, you'll select the page part, and in the context menus you have here, there's shape format, text box, and picture format. I can go into the ribbon and choose change picture. It's a little icon. Sometimes you have to hover over to make sure you're not choosing reset picture or the compressed picture. You want the one in the middle that says change picture with the arrow pointing to the right. And then you'll get the insert pictures window where you can do cloud storage and image search or from files. Since it's in my files, I want to choose browse. And then I want to navigate to where the photos are. So we're going to go here to our Jeremy Bearimy Family Newsletter section. This is for this year, and it's Janet and Jason. Then we're going to pick the picture that we want to be the largest of little Antoinette. So let's try this one. We're going to insert. And what it'll do is it'll take on the shape and size of what's part of the page part. And then you'll just repeat that process with your other images. And then what it'll do is it'll actually literally swap out the image that was here and place that image in the scratch area. Since we obviously won't need this desert picture, we can go ahead and remove it. Now for our next image, let's right click, change picture. I'm going to navigate to the same place. And we'll choose this one and insert. There we go. And what you can also do is if you do insert from the insert tab and choose pictures in the illustration section, you can just go ahead and insert all of your pictures at once. insert them. So that way they are all already in the scratch area. Okay, so we have our pictures here already waiting in the scratch area. And what we can do is if I want to cut that image to have it on the clipboard, choose the image I want to swap out and paste it, and it'll replace it. And there we go. So we have little Antoinette's section about her arrival here. How exciting. Now in this sidebar, we can go ahead and add Janet's news here, adding the details. So we're going to double click to edit our title text. And we'll just type her name here. And in the, let's zoom in so you all can see that. There we go. Now we do have a subtitle and then we have the body. So here in the subtitle, we could say Janet and Jason's new arrival. Since that cut off a little bit because the space is only so large. Sometimes you'll see these three dots here. And what that'll let you do is copy the rest of that message or that text and then like pour it somewhere else. It has like a little picture icon. I don't want to move it anywhere else. So let me get rid of that. I just want to resize what's here. So I want to resize the whole text box. And there we go. Change my font a little bit. And then probably change the position of where this is in the text box to be up toward the middle. There we go. And here in the body, I'm going to type in the message that Janet sent to me, of what she wants it to say here. So from her email, I'll just copy it off screen. And then come in and select the placeholder text, right click, and then paste it. And so this is what she wanted her section to say. And so that's little Antoinette's section. So what you'll do is you'll just replace the placeholder images and the placeholder text to make it say whatever you want to say. And then you can do any kind of formatting and adjusting that you need to do with it. So we're going to move on to the next section. I will add some embellishments and some graphics at the end, but today we're just going to fill in the information. So another announcement that we have is to celebrate a past birthday. So we'll put that up here. Let me remove my placeholder. We want to keep little Blake for later. So I'll just move her images somewhere else because I might put her announcement by changing one of these page parts here to be about her information. Okay, so here I want to edit my title text to say, well, this will be the birthday section of the newsletter. So here I want to put happy, birthday. And it's cut off a little bit because this is trying to fit in a smaller area. So I'll right click on, or I'll triple click to highlight it all and decrease my font size so it fits. And then in my subtitle, I don't think I need a subtitle, so I can choose that. Oops. Now, if you find that you want to remove a section of a page part, you do have to ungroup it. So select the page part you want, ungroup, and then here I can choose ungroup. And now you'll see all of the individual pieces. And what you'll do from here is choose the piece that you want to remove and delete it. And then I can move this text box up a little higher so that way it has a little bit more space. And then if I want to group those things again, I'll just click on the first item, hold down the control key, click on the next items, and then I believe the border, and then I can regroup it. That way it still stays together. And then what we'll type here in the description is happy, or let's just say, may all your wishes come true. And I will center that. And then I'll add a few balloons or what have you to the end. But let's swap out our pictures for now. And I may be worried here because, hey, what if I have more than 3 birthdays listed in here? We don't, but if I did, if I needed to ungroup those, I could then reposition them. But it looks like I only have 2 birthdays. So I probably want to move these 2 images up to be side by sides. So we want to ungroup. And then we're going to take both of these images and select them because we want them to do the same thing. We want them to stay in their space, but move up together to the top of the other image. There we go. And they went behind it, thank goodness. So that way, all I have to do is choose this image and delete it. And now I have my side by side. So then I can go ahead and while I'm here, just replace this image with one from the file, and then I will group them back when I'm finished. So let's go back. I believe Eleanor had a birthday. So we'll pick this image. It'll place it there. So zoom back in so we can see it. There we go. And then we're going to replace our other image. Change picture from file. And then I believe, yep, Lewis had a birthday as well. So let's choose this one and insert. So each time you add something, it'll zoom you back out. So that can get pretty interesting. So we have our birthdays there. Okay, so we're going to say happy birthday to Eleanor and Lewis. And maybe move this sentence to the end. So that way we don't have this. Oh, well, now we have it anyway. Orphan here, but there we go. And then maybe regroup this section now that we're done. select it all and its border. I don't want to forget about that. And then group. Woohoo! All right, now for the next section. Now here in this section here, we have a header type looking title, and then we have this page part here. But if we find that those page parts don't really suit us because our next highlight here will be about Blake and Naftali starting new grades of school this August, what we can do is select the page parts that we have here that aren't quite suiting what we need, and then just replace them. So we're going to go back to Insert, Page Part, and then find one that maybe has a few picture options that will make sense for what we need to highlight in this section. So I want to look at more page parts to go to the entire gallery, and I need it to be a story. So we're going to look at all stories. And so they're a little bigger because they're kind of hard to see on that other side. So we do have these that kind of match what's on the back. And then we have these little things here. These pop-out boxes. A pure layout. Let's do this one. Yeah, so that way we can put two of them on top of each other. So we'll choose this first one. We'll resize it to fit the space. We may have to adjust text since we're trying to fit it in a smaller area. But let's zoom out so we can kind of see where it fits. And then resize it. And probably come over a little. And just a smidge centered with the other one. Perfect. So we have that. We need two of them. So we're gonna copy this one and paste it and move it right below the other one and line it up best we can. Probably down a little more to give them some space. And then let's zoom in and take a closer look. Okay, looks good. Now, Blake's face isn't showing in this picture, but we do like it in this one. But we probably want to crop this one to get rid of some of that extra space that's there in the back. So I'm going to blow it up just so I can see it. And in the context menu for this picture, I'm going to go to the picture format, and in crop, I'm going to select crop. So we can get a little bit more of her face because we're putting this image in a smaller area. There we go. And then we'll see how that fits here. Let's right click on it, cut it, select this image and paste it. There we go. It's a little on the small side, but that's okay. And here she's starting our new second grader. And we'll make it a little smaller so it fits. And this text box here, we'll say Blake starts Second grade soon. Send her good vibes as she starts the new school year. Now, we tried to fit that in a pretty small space. So what we can do is adjust the entire page part. Let's move this one down. We'll resize by pulling it down a little bit. And then go out some, but not too close to the edge. And then what we can do here is highlight all of this text because it's not fitting. Go to text box. And in the left-hand side, we have a text fit option. And we wanted to best fit it. So that way it automatically adjusts on its own. And then if we want to move this entire thing over, I found that sometimes if you need to move things over incrementally, and sometimes your mouse is going to make big jumps, select the option the object you're wanting to move and use your arrow key to smidge it over bit by bit until you kind of have it where you want it. So I might see about making it a little smaller, but I think right there looks good. And so since I want to use that same thing, I'll go ahead and delete this one and then just copy this one so I don't have to do all of that work over again. I'm going to paste it, move it where I need it, and then do the one for Naphtali. Okay, so that inserted to replace that other picture. I think it's looking good. So now we'll say first grade soon. So send her good vibes as she starts the new school year. All right. And then at the bottom, if I wanted to add a little blurb here, I could insert another page part. But let's zoom out and kind of take a look at what we have so far. We've got Antoinette, we've got our second graders, we've got our birthdays. Let's go ahead and get rid of what's in our scratch area. And then let's give it a title. So let's zoom in a little bit, go to the top, and we'll figure out what goes in that bottom corner probably next time. So here in the publication date, I'm going to choose that. Let's say this is for 2022. Title text. We'll just say greetings, and then we'll say, in our subtitle text, this is the Jeremy Family Newsletter. All right. How do you think it's looking so far, everybody? I think it looks beautiful. Okay. In the last part, we're going to work on page 2, doing the same types of things we just did in page 1. And then what we'll do from there, add a few little graphics, a few icons here and there, and then we will save it as a PDF and send it away in an email. All right. That's what I have for you. Have a good day. And we want to thank you for watching. Follow us to find more videos just like this. Our page on Facebook is MCPL 360. And if you miss us on Facebook, you'll still find these same videos on our YouTube channel at MCPL Mo. Find our consumer technology playlist. Have a good day.